Hello, fellow plant people. Welcome back if you're returning to my channel. If you're new, my name is Jen. I go by The Leafy Geek here and also on Instagram. I'm joined by Hound Dog today, hanging out in my plant room, and I think what we're gonna do is, I did just get a delivery. I'm going to unbox that. I haven't done an unboxing on camera for a really long time, and you know, I think that's kind of a natural thing a lot of us might be experiencing, is that, you know, we're not really, all of us necessarily aren't really purchasing a bunch of new plants all of the time. That seemed to hit its peak, that phenomenon. But I just feel like I do have new plants, and I haven't really shown my collection in a while. I won't do the full collection today, but I would like to share with you just some new additions to my collection, because it's been a while since I've updated you on that. And I figured, since I have a delivery, this is from Steve's Leaves, I'm gonna go ahead and open it with you. So stick around. Hi, it's Hound Dog. Thank you. Are you gonna help me open the box? It's kind of an awkward framing. Just enjoy the pretty plants in the background while I finagle this box. I know it's probably, if I had thought about it, I'd probably already have it sliced open, but I don't. So just bear with the noise of the tape for a second. What do you think? All right, what's in here? This should be, if it's what I'm thinking, some pretty cool things in here. All right, this will be fun. This will be fun to share with you. This was a good one. So they're Hoyas, of course. No surprise there. I'm a Hoya person. I'm in a room full of Hoyas. So this first one is one, it's kind of an OG, and I've never had it. I've never had this one in my collection. So this is exciting. A little bit. There we go. Now you can see, you can see this little girl. Okay. So, oh wow. The thing with Steve's Leaves is they've got, you know, they've got like their big kind of marketing picture of each plant. And then they usually include a picture of like the plant you can expect to receive, so that your expectations are accurate to what you receive. But then they send a plant that is bigger and more established than that expectation photo sometimes. And it's a pleasant surprise when they do that. So this is just very cool. This is Hoya Thomsonii. And it's one, again, it's kind of an OG Hoya variety species that like I've just never owned. And I love it so much. It's got really fuzzy leaves. It's just a really cool specimen. And look at the vines. I've got a couple of vines on here. Some of the leaves are broken, but I don't know that they were necessarily broken in transit. I think that just might have been what the vine looked like when they shipped it. So that's great. New leaves at the end. So it's healthy, established, it's growing actively. I love this. I love this plant so much. I'm very excited about this. So again, this is Hoya Thomsonii. I might put some stats on the screen if I can do the research and figure out where these all hail from, because I like to do that research. I'd like to have that information for my records, because sometimes that informs care for a particular variety of Hoya. If you just know like where its environment of origin is, where it is naturally in the wild. So I'll see if I can include that information too for all of us. Oh, I just love this so much. Comes with the tag. Thomsonii. What do you think? Is that cool? Yeah, I'll put it right here, okay? All right, one down. Okay, the second one that I'm gonna open, it's actually one that I have not heard of before. So I don't know when it was discovered or published, but it's definitely one that I want to learn more about. So that can be risky sometimes if you purchase a plant without knowing too much about it first. I know that's kind of like plant collector 101, do the research, right? But at the same time, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What on earth? This is huge. This is so big. It's a 3-inch pot, but dang, you guys. New leaves. That means established roots. Gosh. This is beautiful. Oh, it looks like we just have a little casualty here. Might have lost a leaf, and it's definitely one of those that oozes the white latex. But this is awesome. So this is Hoya Biakensis. Again, not one I'm familiar with. It reminds me, like its leaf shape, reminds me a lot of, what are those? I think they're mostly the Discidia species that cups. Maybe like kind of like Hoya imbricata too, like that leaf shape. It doesn't quite form the cup, it looks like, but it has that rounded leaf. The varieties of the genus that Apothenaceae that has a symbiotic relationship with ants in nature, where they provide that shelter for the ants, and then the ants in turn provide fertilizer for the plant. But it's kind of what it's what it reminds me of. I highly doubt that's part of this one's story, but wow. Oh gosh. Okay, a little messy. Little messy. This one I'm losing quite a bit of soil, but I'm also like, I think they just like overfilled the pot, which is fine. I'll take it. So yeah, I mean, all of these they're not too bad, they're not too worse for wear. Traveling from Texas to Minnesota, it's still, believe it or not, it's still quite warm here. We're in the 60s. We hit like a low 70s yesterday. It's been kind of a weird fall in Minnesota. So shipping hasn't been an issue at all for any of my plants that I've ordered this fall, which I'll show you. I'll show you where they are all at. But I cannot believe the size of this thing. These are really healthy, like established plants. I'm really excited about this. Now I gotta find room. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll figure that out later. Hoya Biakensis. I'm making a lot of noise here, aren't I? You're being a really good girl. Yeah. I appreciate you. You keeping me company. Yeah. Thanks, babe. This little goober. 2 more. Second to last one is another one I'm not familiar with. Sensing the theme. Well, I guess maybe not, because I did get one that's been on my wish list for a while, but there are a couple that I was just very intrigued by, and so I wanted to see if I would be able to learn about them and grow them successfully. All right, another very decently sized plant. I don't know, is this the trend now? Are Hoyas just coming in bigger sizes? What? So, wow. Okay, cool. This reminds me a little bit of Hoya bilobata, I think, the leaf shape. This is Hoya Leytensis. So it's got, oh, maybe a little bit, here, grab this one for a second. Kind of like Lacunosa a little bit, but I think bilobata is the one that it's really reminding me of. Wow. Another just really healthy looking Hoya. All of these do also, they need a drink. They need water. I can tell they're pretty dry. But that's not a problem. And Hoyas, as we know, are really decent, if you're a chronic underwaterer like I am. Hoyas, being semi-succulent, will really do fairly well with a little bit of neglect. they're quite hardy in drier conditions, but obviously don't want to let that go too long. I have lost many a Hoya in my collection to just underwatering, depression. I don't know what it was. But again, just really healthy specimens, and I'm kind of checking them for pests too. Like Steve's Leaves is really just, they're such a reliable vendor that I can't recall an incident when I've had a plant come from them that came with pests also. So not too worried about that at all, but I always just do a cursory check. This is so cool. These are really cool. I'm definitely leading more into kind of the draping, cascading Hoyas lately. I do have a lot of, you know, vining ones that I have on hoops. So like that's not something that I've given up on by any means, but I don't know what it is, like a bunch of these on a shelf. Oh, I just love that look. I really do. Oh, this is pretty. Hoya Leytensis, hoping that I'm still adding some really interesting facts about where it's from, what I've learned about it so far to this video. So very, very cool plant. Okay, so the last one is one I'm familiar with. I think most of us are probably familiar with this one. But again, so like Thomsonii, it's one that I haven't had in my collection for a really long time. I think I had it early on when I started collecting Hoya, but ultimately, for whatever reason, I lost the specimen that I had, and I thought maybe it's time for another one. So this, my friends, is Hoya Wayetii. Yeah, so fairly common one. Actually probably the smallest of the quartet that I got today. But yeah, again, the draping Hoyas, I'm into that look. It's what I have room for right now. Some of my vining ones are just getting a little bit out of control. So it's just, yeah, in terms of space and in terms of the vibe and the look, I'm just really liking this type of growth habit on my plants. So trying to accumulate more of them when I am buying plants. So it's really, really healthy looking Wayetii. Just the plain green. I didn't go for any variegation this time. But there it be. So, Steve's Leaves, again, just a solid plant haul from them. I'm just really thrilled. Something else that I love about Steve's, not sponsored, of course, but just thought I would just mention that is, so I ended up buying two of these Hoyas, and then I went back the same day and bought two more. And what they tend to do is if they see that you have multiple orders that come in right around the same time, they will group them. And so you end up only paying for one box of shipped plants instead of two. So that's something that I haven't seen from other vendors, but I could be wrong. I think sometimes other vendors, like if you contact them, they'll group them. But Steve's they just do that. That's part of their practice, which is just really, really convenient. It's my bad, honestly, because I went in and placed multiple orders, but yeah, they do great. And then they always will return that difference to you via a gift card. So now I have money to spend again. But that is my Steve's Leaves haul. I'm going to water these, kind of get them set up temporarily. I know it's kind of always a practice, a good practice to keep new plants isolated for at least a couple of days, just in case you see any pests make their appearance from the soil, or, you know, anything that you might have missed. I'm not too worried, but I will give them their space and give them some water, and then I'm going to show you some more plants. My foot is asleep. My foot is asleep up to my knee. I'm too old to be sitting on the floor. This sucks. All right, hang on. Okay, I'm still technically on the floor. This is a little bit of chaos here. So I ordered more plants this summer than I thought I did, right? So I've got something going on here. I pulled a lot of my new plants that have just been kind of hanging out, that I have wanted to repot. I've just been letting them kind of sit and acclimate before I disturb the roots and get them into the soil that I use. But what's happening here is suddenly now I have kind of two different things going on at once. So I want to show you the new plants that I've gotten, but I'm also going to be at some point here filming a repotting, just like a repot and chat kind of thing. So if you do have any questions that you would like to send my way, please do so. Otherwise, I know I have just some stuff to talk about. So we'll kind of do that. But I'm not going to show you what's going on down here because this is crazy. But I do have a bunch of my packing slips from the places I've ordered plants from May, June, July, August, and September. So I think that I'm done for the year. This was a nice little revisit into like the whole, new plants, building the collection up again a little bit. But this is kind of, I'm staring at the invoices here. That's kind of ridiculous. So I'll show you the plants that I purchased this summer and fall. I might have to take the camera and walk around because I don't think I'm going to be able to like bring them all in here, have them on camera, and then, film them individually. So I'll probably be off camera, but I will show you these plants. Some of them are right here, so I can show those on camera, but some of them are elsewhere, and I'm not going to let myself be overwhelmed filming this because I really do want to share like my new plants in my collection with you. And the lighting is really blown out right now. I'm sorry about that. I'm under this grow light here that actually, I wonder if I should even move this. Anyway, I'm a little scattered. I was trying to assemble. I thought things would be a little bit easier than initially than it's turning out to be. But you can see I've kind of got a stack of pots right here. This is where I was gonna see if I could match up some plants to pots and repot some things, but this is getting a little bit messy. So let me at least first show you the plants that are in here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Back on the floor. Not the most attractive view. There's Hound Dog. She can be in the video. Okay, where to start? Let's see what I've got. The ones that are in here right now. They're from different vendors. Some are Steve's Leaves, some are Gabriella Plants. Those are the two vendors that I typically still purchase plants through at this point in my life. This is one of the ones that I'm going to be repotting. It's Hoya Wayetii 073, and I'm just a big fan of those Finlaysonii looking leaves. So, and this plant, honestly, like this is fairly accurate to size that I received it. So, big specimen. Again, I've noticed that we're just getting some really decent size specimens of plants in recent orders, which is exciting. This other one over here, what are you? Oh, it's another, I think it's another Gabriella Plants Hoya, but it didn't have a tag. So let me see if I can find that. Oh God. I will put the name on the screen because I don't know what this is. That's frustrating. So disjointed. This video is quickly devolving into chaos, I think. I will put the name on the screen if I can find the receipt and let you know what it is. It is Gabriella Plants. I know it's Gabriella Plants. It's got new growth. That's cool. It's just a really big old plant. So sorry. I don't know what that one is. Here is one that I know is also Gabriella Plants. I think this is the Hoya Idaho. So it's a variety that it reminds me a lot of Pachyclada. It's got that the chonky vines, the pretty decently thick leaves, the rigid leaves that are still quite soft. So, oh yeah, I'll show you this one too while we're at it. I did get a Pachyclada also. So that's what this one is. Oh, it's been sitting in water for a while. That's not great. So yeah, Hoya Idaho right here, Pachyclada right here. Very similar. There's got to be some element to that, to this one. But yeah, this is a good one. This has actually been growing for a while for me. It's pretty cool. It's one that another one that I've never had. Similar to Thomsonii, like I've never had a Pachyclada. So they're kind of underrated, I would say. There's a lot of water in here. Uh-oh. Hold on. So Pachyclada, another one I got from Gabriella Plants, but yeah, decent growth, really quite easy. I have it in a lower pot because it had some external roots on the vines, some aerial roots that were gonna fit, and it looked really strong, so I wanted to kind of help because it is a big plant. It's a heavy vines, so giving it some additional leverage in the actual pot hopefully will help it just kind of maintain. But Pachyclada, Hoya Corneri. This one's looking a little bit, I need to water it. It's really underwatered. So, ooh. This is a repot. It's just, this soil, it's really baked, really compacted. So I think I just need to get it into a different space because it's not doing so great. But Hoya Corneri, another classic. Crimson Queen. I decided to purchase a Crimson Queen again. I had one again a very long time ago. And that one just, for whatever reason, didn't make it at the time. Probably because I was still so new to Hoya. Just didn't really know what it wanted. But this one is doing great. New leaves. Oh, that's cute. New leaf. There. Coming in pink. So, another classic Hoya that we saw at the beginning of kind of the 2020 plant craze. Saw this everywhere, but they were little nuggets, just little plugs with maybe a couple of leaves on them. And they're slow growers, right? Compacta, Carnosa compacta. So Gabriella Plants had decent price. I think they're still they're priced a little bit expensive. But again, it has to do with their growth and how slow they grow, I think. So when you're cultivating them, it takes a long time. Was still pleasantly surprised at how big these are when I got them. I got two because I was like, well, I want to kind of boost my odds of having a decent sized plant, and I don't necessarily know if I want to wait until a single plant is kind of in that kind of size range. So thought I'd get two and combine them, but then they ended up being quite large anyway. So I have to find a bigger pot for these than the one I was planning, which is a good problem to have. But just the regular green compacta. I I do love this growth habit. And Gabriella Plants is another one, another seller that I've had really good luck with, just in terms of like the quality of their Hoyas, and yeah, just, you know, the way they grow. This one has a couple of sad looking leaves on it, but again, that's because it's in very dry soil right now. I need to get it repotted. So it's kind of on me now because they produced some really beautiful plants. I'm gonna get up and kind of cart you around a little bit and show you some of the plants that are in place at this point, that are new. Still at the desk in my Hoya room. This guy, Hoya Obovada. I've had one of these before, but I lost that one. And I just decided I would like another one. So kind of some funky leaves. I think these were brand new leaves when it was in transit, and I just don't know that it did very well with that, but I'm doing pretty good now. That's Hoya Obovada. This guy, oh yes. So, love a redemption arc. So I lost also a Hoya caudata quite some time ago at this point. But again, it was a smaller specimen and I struggled to provide it the care that I think it really needed. And being that it was such a small specimen, it kind of just fizzled out and didn't work out so well. So Gabriella Plants had this larger specimen. I'm gonna take this down here, show ya. Oh my god, it's tangled. Anyway, it's this larger specimen that just seemed right out the gate to be a lot healthier. And what is going on here? Oh my gosh, everything's tangled. Okay. I've got to untangle these too, because I don't think that's really healthy for it to be like choking itself, choking its own vines. Yeah, but that one, it's a favorite of mine. I really love the caudata, and I was pretty bummed when I lost it, my first one. So hoping for a redemption arc with this one. Some of these are new leaves here. This one I know popped out in my ownership here. So that's pretty fun. Everything else, you know what? Everything else is just looking so good right now that I just kind of want to share everything. Everything's growing. Lights are going off right now just because of the timing that I'm filming. It goes off for like a couple of hours in the afternoon. But yeah, I think today also, it is plant care day for me today too. So I will be watering and fertilizing all my Hoya today. But yeah, things are looking really good. I also just want to share this leaf with y'all. It's a big chunky leaf on my Hoya latifolia Sarawak. And then my Hoya fungii that I kind of forgot about. It was sitting in a corner. Actually, I think I had it in that corner for a while. And then I checked on it one day and it had huge vines and a bunch of new leaves. So I was like, okay, cool. You get a nice bright spot then. What else we got going on? Showed you the Pachyclada. These are some Polyneura cuttings I'm trying to rescue. Oh yes, I'll be able to pop these up soon. But I rescued, looks like successfully rescued, some cuttings from my old plant that was on the outs, and just let them root in sphagnum moss. So that's awesome. Can see new growth in there, so I get to pop that up again. So I still have a Polyneura technically. These are new. Let's take a look. Oh, I got another Dakier, and this one's doing great. I think it has to do, I don't know if it's just a problem that I've had growing Hoya from plugs, or if it's just the specimen. It's kind of dependent on the specimen, and I'm definitely adjusting some watering routines with these guys too. So being a little bit more intentional about specific Hoyas and what they need versus kind of that blanket care for them. Wayetii, that's a new one. Kind of reminds me of the Iris Marie, but I think this is its own species. What else we got that's fairly new? This one was also a rescue. I had a very old cutting of an, what are they? The Hoya, oh my God, I'm blanking on the name. No. What is that variety? Australis. Jeez, Jen. So I had a really old cutting of the Australis that had been living in water forever, and I finally potted it up, and now it's like, okay, great, thank you. I'm gonna grow. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure if I've shown you this one or not, to be honest. It's my Hoya Peperomia. It's doing pretty well, keeps blooming. I'm just waiting to see some new leaf growth on it. I mean, it's growing slowly but surely. Just love the leaf shape on that. And then I do think this is a new one too, since we last talked. This is my Hoya Aroids. Another one I had a long time ago, and that one didn't make it. Again, that one was a tiny plug. I'm not going to name the name of that particular vendor. I don't even know if they are in business anymore. But I don't have many of their Hoyas that I had ordered from them, you know, back at the beginning of my Hoya collecting journey. So it is what it is. I'm missing a Hoya here, but it's because I am treating it for spider mites. And what I typically do, I don't know if you guys have a pest management system at all in place for your Hoya, but I really, really appreciate beneficial predatory mites. So that has been my go-to for just general pest management, because I don't have a whole lot of time to devote to individual plant treatment. And so I've really found that beneficial insects are the way to go for me. They're not for everybody, but I've had success with that. Oh, I moved this out of the way, but this is a new plant that I want to share with you. Not a Hoya. This is the Microsorum. How do you say that? What is that even? Microsorum thailandicum. Oh, that's pretty easy. The blue oil fern. I decided to swing big and see if I could keep one of these alive, and so far so good. I don't know how blue it looks on camera. It's probably not translating as super blue, but this, kind of, you can see that. I really, really like this plant, you guys. I've kept one fern alive so far for multiple years. I'm hoping this is the second one that I will be able to do that for. All right, let's move on to another room because there are more new plants to show you. So I'm going to film a little bit of my pretty messy workstation, and it's actually kind of unfortunate. One of the grow lights that I have up here now above this desk shut off. I have them on timers as I do everything else, but I do have a couple of new Peperomia. I've got my Peperomia pallibatria that I actually got this summer at my local garden center, Tonkadale. And then I have Peperomia obtusifolia, the marble Peperomia. So I'm trying to get back into Peperomia a little bit. I also have a crocodile fern. So I guess that's fern number 3 I'm trying to keep alive. I don't know. I love this fern so much, and then I just fail sometimes to make it work. Chlorophytum, fire flash plant. More to come on this later, probably in a future video. And then a Peperomia watermelon. kind of a fun experiment. We'll see if I'll make that even work. And then in the really terrible lighting here, I have a couple of citrus trees. I got these from Logi's this summer. They lived outside on my patio all summer, but I have a kumquat and a finger lime, a red finger lime right here. And then I also have a curry plant. So this is actually like the curry leaves you use in cooking. I'm just gonna see if they make it through the winter. No promises, but here's hoping. All right, so this is the other side of my office area, just behind, you know, where our view just was. This is the half wall between my kitchen and my office. And I've got some new stuff on here, or stuff I think I haven't really mentioned in a video quite yet. So here we go. I've got a, well, this Aeschynanthus longicalis, the black pagoda lipstick plant, I've had for a long time actually. I've finally kind of cracked the code on this plant. But I did get another Aeschynanthus. This is the Micrantha variegata. So as you can see, it's kind of hard to see in this light, but it is very gently variegated, this lipstick plant. So that's kind of cool. I also have a few new Peperomia. Again, I'm trying the Peperomia thing again. I don't know what came over me, but I'm certainly giving it a try. So I've got the Quadrangularis here. I've got a sad looking string of turtles. So maybe, I don't know, guys. I'm trying them out. I got inspired this summer. The Peperomia and Canna is one of my favorite Peperomias, in addition to the Polybatria, the raindrop, and then also the obtusifolia. Those three are my favorites, and they tend to be the most hardy, the most succulent. So here's hoping that one's doing really good. And then I have Boivanii again. It's that tri-leaf Peperomia. So fingers crossed, hold the hope for me. We'll see if they make it. I have acquired that leaf is just about ready to pop out. A Philodendron Spiritus Sancti. This is a tissue culture that I got from Gabriella Plants. But I do have one, finally. It was something I was kind of waiting on to see if I would ever find one in my price range, and I did score a tissue culture. On the other side, let me flip you around here. On the other side of that half wall, I have a Philodendron Jose Buono. This is also from Gabriella Plants. This leaf is kind of mangled. It was, again, this one was in progress on delivery, and I don't know if like something just, if it, you know, new leaves or leaves that are just about to emerge don't necessarily make it very well in transit. So I don't know if that was the case with that. Very well could have been. But I also have this really cool plant. Oh, I don't know. Can you even see it? This is a Hoya. I'm gonna have to look up this name and put it on the screen. It's very backlit here. But this Hoya is so cool. It reminds me a lot of Hoya Bella, but it's a little bit hardier for me. I'm able to just kind of negotiate with it a little bit more. It's less prone to just kind of freaking out if it goes too long without watering. So I want to say it's Engleriana, but I am putting this on the screen. But this is a fairly new one also. This one I think I got from Steve's Leaves. I don't know if I can even get it fully in frame here. It's just a very cool plant. Very, very cool. All right, and then this is my shelf in my living room that's above my couch. I have this beautiful beauty that I got this summer from Steve's Leaves. This is my Epipremnum pinnatum albo variegata. It's a big old, healthy elbow variegated plant. It's starting to trail, which is really fun. I think it really likes the spot. Finally found a good spot for it. It struggled for a little bit on arrival, but it's doing good now. The other new one that I got up here this summer, lots of philodendron up here. This is my philodendron shelf, my primary. This is my philodendron white princess. Also, I think from Steve's Leaves. So this is a nice big, bold, beautiful climbing philodendron with a new leaf happening right there. So, good times all around up on this shelf. Just things are looking okay. I do need to come through with some more fertilizer for all of these guys, but tell you what, I don't know if you guys remember this from a previous video, but my philodendron tortum, I had been struggling with this plant for years. I had it at a certain point, and I was really prepared just to let it go. But what I ended up doing is I repotted it, and I used new soil, a slightly chunkier mix that had a little bit more heft to it, a little bit more drainage, and I fertilized it, and now I've got double the leaves that I used to have. I used to have 3 leaves on this plant, and I now have 6, and there's another one poking out. So I think I have finally cracked the code on philodendron tortum. Okay, this is something that I will show you guys in a future video. There's a big hint right there. But I do have another peperomia over here. I just located this one. This is another new plant. My Peperomia Ecuador. This was a Gabriella's plants purchase. I had been acquiring a few plants. Some of my peperomias I acquired for a project that I will again share in a future video, but not all of them fit. This was one of them that I opted not to use in that project, but I just sat it here on this little sewing table with some other things that are just kind of hanging out there temporarily right now, and it's doing really well. Honestly, it's doing quite well. Actually kind of thriving now. Really perked up. But yeah. Well, that's a huge hint. So more to come on that in a future video. But bonus footage. Some plants that are surprising me a little bit right now. This is my philodendron red emerald that I've had to chop a couple of times because it would break after it got to a certain climbing height. So I just kind of had to keep chopping it and propping it. But I'm noticing it's created some new growth points at the base, which is really kind of funny. Both of these stems have new growth points that are like actively growing. So this plant is getting bushy at the base and continuing to climb. So that's an interesting little surprise. So this is probably going to be pretty anticlimactic, but essentially I have moved all of my succulents and things that were outside on my patio this summer. I've moved them back in officially. They've all been treated, and I just have to kind of go through and clean off, you know, any of the abandoned spider webs and stuff that are hanging out on them, and just make sure they're really cleaned up and pruned up and ready to go for winter. They survived in here. This is my grow room. They survived in here all winter last year, so we'll give that a go again. But things kind of got, things grew. Things did quite well. Yeah, I'm pretty darn impressed with how things are looking. And then my spider plant blew up. This thing, again, one of those plants that I was like, pretty sure it's on the outs. I'm pretty sure I don't really care too much. but I just set it outside when it got warm enough and just kept watering it, and now it's just big and full, and it has a ton of little babies, little offshoots. It bloomed a bunch. It's just, I don't know, guys. Just an accidental success, I guess. So that's it for me. I don't know if this was the video you expected to see at the start of everything, but here we are. I, again, have some repotting to do. Gonna take care of that, and I'll film that and just kind of have a little chat session with y'all. If you have any questions, I'll try and post something on Instagram in the next couple of days, and then maybe I'll film, so give you guys a little bit of time to connect with me if there's anything you want to know about me, what's been going on plant-wise, life-wise, anything like that. So really appreciate you coming around and checking out my new plants with me today. Hope you are doing well, and until next time, enjoy your plants.